There's the red dog. Don't you love when someone talks about themselves in third person? Red Dog's back in his chair. It is Wednesday. Well, I've been here since Monday. I drove home, 2:45 in the morning on Monday morning to get at the desk at 6 when the futures are down 150 handles, rushing in here to get ready for the day as we were in a great mood looking to, buy in the whole volatility spiking. The week prior, we were very, very tactical, meaning low, just no, not a lot of stocks. Some of us were in puts, some of us were short, some of us were in cash in a great position because we were below the 8 and 21 day for that type of move. And now here we are, day 3 of this bounce attempt, day 3 where the oscillator was just minus 90. Yesterday went out of minus 46 and is probably, minus 20. So there's more room. So you have to map out areas. Anyway, first of all, my name is Scott Redler. I'm a El Jefe officer of T3Live.com. Welcome to the 630 Club, where I try and give you guys levels. I try and, show you how the process is done. So this way we can make some money, and be prepared for whatever the day is going to bring. We try and think clearly. And how do we do that? By having a process. That's why I just did a quick little video from the barrel. Yes, Red Dog's been back in the barrel for over 2 weeks. This September will be almost 2 years where I haven't missed a day except for when I couldn't go in because I had heart surgery. Anyway, let me say good morning to some of my dogs first. Who do we got? We got EK Santo. We got Dunks. Good morning. We got Jana Swing. Jana Swing, bada. What up, Bobby 4.0? Bobby 4.0. That means he's reinvented himself 4 times, become better versions of himself. I think I'm at Red Dog 3.0, but I don't have time to get into that. What up, Massapequa? What up, Specialist? Yes. People like, Red Dog, why are the futures up? I'm like, well, they're blaming a little bit of this corrective phase on the carry trade, on Japan raising rates, and now they said they will not raise anymore because obviously they couldn't handle it. They were down 6-7%, then 12%. So 2 days ago, the Nikkei bounced back about 10%, and then added another 1 or 2%. So that's why we're continuing to bounce back. But we'll get into that. What up, Allison? What up, David? Glasgow in the house. So let's go to the chart of the SPYs real quickly, because yesterday, remember, we were talking tactics on how to make money. Besides buying in the hole on Monday morning, you had to figure out how long we would go or how far we would go, and there were a lot of gaps. So we talked yesterday about if the SPYs will have enough juice to get above 523 and fill the gap to 528. Well, you had to wait a little bit into the morning to 11:30, but by the end of the morning, we were already into the gap. And then in the afternoon, we went as high as 529. So not only did you have one of those buy in the hole trades, which was great. Not only that, hey, on the close, we were what? We were at the close is right there. If you look, which was 517.38. So at the close, which was really down here, this was the close of Monday. That is when I put my wife's Blood in the Street account back to work. A lot of people out there love when I put the Blood in the Street account back to work, because that means we're oversold. That means we're ripe for a bounce. I put her account in, and I don't touch it until we're back at high. It's kind of like what happened here. This is where I put the Blood in the Street back to work. Only one tier because we're only down 5%. Here I waited for almost, 8%, which was a bigger discount, but we were also higher. But anyway, I didn't sell it probably till here, and now we have a whole new set of points of references. So anyway, if you did right now the SPYs, and just see like Red Dog, last time I bought the Blood in the my swing account with your Blood in the Street account, we made 10 points in the SPYs, even 20 if I do remember. But anyway, here you are. You're up 11 points. That's a decent amount of money from Monday's close. Not even in the hole. It's Wednesday. Make sure to book some. Some of you guys took options, bought calls. Some of you guys sold puts. I bought calls and sold puts and in the SPY. So I triple dipped. Red Dog's triple dipping today. Anyway, that was yesterday. I won't be doing today, but and I did a bunch of other things. But anyway, hopefully I help guide you. Steady hands always, carry heavier weight. And small steps lead to firmer ground. Those are 2 cliches that I love. And anyway, so here we are. The SPYs right now are at 528.44, a little bit below 529. I would think that this oversold bounce, or whatever this bounce you want to call, could see at least 532. 532-ish would be a spot that, hey, maybe if it happens, today, tomorrow, maybe you want to sell a little premium. I would think there's 537 where this other gap is. This one probably doesn't get filled. I was pretty confident we could be buying, and we were in the alpha team for a gap fill for more cash flow yesterday. Into this spot, depending on how it happens, could be tough. I'd be even surprised if we get there. If you look here on the weekly chart, it's always good to take a step back and look at the bigger picture a little bit. The bigger picture. You always got to look at the bigger picture besides the micro picture. This was 524. Here's 528. At 537, we would be right back to the 2-week, this low that we put in with that 2-week down move. Here is the 8-day curling down. Same way a lot of these stocks on the daily are getting to the 8-day and getting rejected. On the weekly, this might be the same. So, from 510 to 537, that might be the first reflex move, and then we figure it out. So think ahead. By the time the street gets really bullish again, if we're back at 535, realize, that could be a spot to take a step back, not, start buying, especially if you didn't buy in the hole. Just saying, at this point, people are saying this, the rally's back on, the bull market's back on, at this point, you don't have to say that. You could just say, hey, we're trying to get the oscillator back to neutral, from 565 to here, this would be taking back about a third of the move. This would be a little bit more. And then this spot gets very tricky, and probably a better spot to put some hedges back on if you have a huge portfolio and covered your hedges into Monday's move, which a lot of people did. So anyway, if you want to map out other levels. So now this is gone, by the way. You will not see this in here anymore. This gap is gone. Bye-bye. Okay, now it's just a point of reference. And, this was that prior, was this the prior low here? 5-2 up. And now this is today's high, and that's where the 8-day. Every time we've rallied to the 8-day, it's kind of been rejected. A lot of people talking about the action in SMCI yesterday. Holy cow. Up 100 points to down 80 points. That's a huge swing. That's a widowmaker. That means you could have got your clock cleaned, and nobody wants their clock cleaned on a Tuesday. Maybe Saturday night. No, I'm kidding. But so we'll see what happens there. They did a 10-for-1 split. 10-for-1 splits only work in bull markets, only when shorts are trapped, only near all-time highs, not after you've been down 50%. So anyway, if you want to look at the SMCI, what's the level in SMCI? Right now it's at 526. Okay, so that's a little bit below 529. I kind of wouldn't be surprised if SMCI rallies. Red Dog is a betting man, which I'm not a betting man. The stock market is not a casino. I would say down 90 points here is a better buy than a sell. I don't know if it goes green. All I'm saying is down 89 points, 526 is not your spot to short. It's probably a spot to say, hey, let me look for a 15-minute low, maybe buy against that. And if this does come way off the lows, you're going to see the semis scream today, because the semis are lagging a little bit right now. What do I mean by lagging? Well, if you look here, these are the Qs. The Qs are up 1.4%. Good to be in the Qs. And the SMHs are probably up not even a percent. Up 2%. Look at that. Anyway, so I guess they're ignoring, SMCI. Wow. I'm in NVIDIA, but NVIDIA's only up $1.30. It's $2 below yesterday's high. So anyway, with that being said, semis are worth a look, but they're not going to be where the action is. Okay, Mag 7 has some decent action. What's been acting best in Mag 7? Meta, actually got above the high and held it. So Meta is sloppy as hell, but does seem like you probably want to look at this a little bit more. It actually had good earnings results, responded well. Remember, we made money in the option and got out, thank goodness, because the sellers took over. But this is still in a channel since last February, pretty much, with just a lot of noise. But during bearish phases, the best stocks and charts rebuild, and then they give you technical buy areas to go with. So Meta is acting better. You know who else is acting better? I gotta say, well, not acting better, but pretty impressive. Palantir. Yesterday, I did say this area would be a better sell than a buy, which was right into the 2750-ish area. But now you actually have like a pro gap here, or an earnings gap to trade against. Look how close this is to all-time highs. They couldn't really sell it down that much. Whereas Palantir right now, Palantir is it's up 16 cents, which isn't a lot. Some of you guys said, hey, Red Dog, can I be in Palantir versus 2557? Yes, that is your gap pivot. If it goes into that pro earnings gap, you know what, then it's not as strong as it was. If it could hold this and go sideways for a little while, chances are next time, if we're in a better tape, it could clear this spot and continue back towards the high. So, this is looking better than most things, which doesn't say a lot. And I don't think you have to, be in things more than tactical spots for a while. It's also the summertime. But anyway, thoughts on Bitcoin? You just had a rally back from 49,000 to 58,000. Same type of rally back from the SPYs from 510 to 528. So everything pretty much did the same thing. You had a deep in the hole buy on Monday if you did so, and also cover your shorts. You had a reflex move. Yesterday, they gave you a push to finish closing the gap, which was the emotional gap from Monday. Now today, you're up. So that's a 3-day move to work off the condition. And now you have to be in the right names if you think there's going to be traction. It's going to be hard to get traction, moving forward. But anyway, we'll see how that goes. So Palantir is something that moves up the go-to list. Remember yesterday, I told you about LUMN here in the 630 club, guys like Red Dog. What do you think of that $5 billion, order this? And I'm like, well, if it gets above 420, that's pretty damn impressive for a little name like this. And then it got above 420, went to 530. And last night, it was up even, another $1.70. So it's 677. I wouldn't be starting a position here, but holy cow, this could have made your summer. That again is the beauty of trading, is that you could find a situation that has a catalyst, and and you could do some research on it fundamentally. And then if you know how to trade technicals, knowing how strong it was, that this was only a pullback to the 8-day, you could have made, your entire July, August just there. Besides trading, besides buying the SPYs, besides having calls, besides selling puts, besides being in the SMHs, besides trading Apple, there are other things you could do. A lot of people did that with this SERV. Remember here, actually, this is where I told you to sell it. They found it on this day, took it home, bought it back, and then you had to move up towards 20. That was a hell of a move. I don't love these small names. They're not my bread and butter. My bread and butter is trading the Mag 7, okay, trading the semiconductors, trading the sectors. Plus, I'm supposed to, that's not for me. I do it every now and then, but that's not really for me. Anyway, somebody said, what about the IWM? Okay, the IWM filled this gap also. This was crazy, not really. Actually, this wasn't so crazy, actually. If you think about it, right here, we had this upper flag. We were going into the FOMC. They weren't really that dovish. So it pushed above this 225, 226, got loose and wide. That's what got me out of the IWM. Yes, I lost some money in the options, but that got me out. And then the next day in the 630 club, I'm like, hey, guys, if you're still there, if it breaks this 220.77, get the hell out of the way. And most people did. So right here, this 2-day move, if you were prepared, got you out, and you didn't hold your nose going to water. Anyway, you just had this move up. This gap is now gone. Goodbye. Doesn't matter. This high here is now 207.25. Here's your next gap. So people like Red Dog, will it fill this gap? I think it goes into this. I think if the IWM gets to 211-ish, I think I'll be selling 215 calls to get synthetically short. It depends on how fast it happens. Where's the IWM right now? It's at 208.14. So it's up another 375 at 208.14, above yesterday's high. Here is 210, and here's this. So I would think this is going to be a hell of a resistance area. If you didn't buy the IWMs in the hole, if you didn't buy the dip yesterday into the close, that was not easy to do. It has some room towards 211, but I'd be selling it to here. I wouldn't be buying this spot. That would be like a 50% retracement right in the middle. But anyway, so right now you got to stick with your tactics. You got to know your ranges, know where no man's land is, and know what's an easy bounce and what's a tougher bounce. Because right now this is day 3 of working off the oversold conditions. And although we might not be in the area to exactly short yet, or short a little bit, you want to be careful not buying. Anyone who was like, oh, I'm buying into the close yesterday at 315, they were down 5 points, they got out, now we're up 6 points, and they don't feel so good about themselves. Randy, you bought LUMN yesterday. Congratulations, good for you. You pushed the keys. Amazon, Microsoft look good this morning. Okay, I'll look at that. Well, Amazon, which has been a pain in the ass stock, to be honest. If you guys remember, Amazon failed right here. I was playing the 202 calls into earnings and it didn't work. I lost money. Yes, Red Dog lost money. You could lose money, but I lost money in the options, meaning I bought $2 calls that went worthless instead of buying the same amount of shares for that. But anyway, here's your gap. This kind of poked its head a little bit above, buying the hole, a little bit of a poke. Doji, not the easiest thing to to stay with. 165. This looks like everything else. Everything is in this rebuild stage. 165 is right here, and then there's your gap. Whereas Amazon this morning, Amazon is Amazon is basically at the gap. No, it's not. It's got 3 points to the gap. So we'll see. Does the gap, reject price and keep this hole in the chart, or do we get here, hang here, and then get another cash flow trade into the gap? But no, this looks just like, all of these things are looking very similar. That's why I said on Monday, you don't need to trade 10 things. Trade, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's why on Monday I was shorting SOXL puts, meaning getting synthetically long, collecting premium. I also bought calls. I traded it. I was shorting SPY puts, buying SPY calls, buying the SPYs. Yeah, the Q. Anyway, I was with Apple. Apple was a pain in the ass yesterday, to be honest. I'll be honest. I lost money in Apple yesterday, and I kind of screwed it up. Okay. There was more news about, Google and Apple and this and that. And, bottom line is it's building this lower wedge. We'll see how it goes. I'm not coming in long today. Yesterday, I got stopped out of Apple yesterday because it was down like 6, kind of ruined a little bit of my morning trade, but I did pretty well in the afternoon. And here's that gap. Where's Apple right now? Apple is it's up $141, 208. So still smack in the middle of this range. So it'll be interesting how this builds this wedge, and then we'll see which way does it resolve, which will probably give us clues what's the next direction once we get to neutral in the oscillator. Once we're at neutral in the oscillator, then you have to have real traction. The oversold's not going to help you, and the overbought's not going to help you. Nvidia is off a little bit because SMCI is down huge. I am long Nvidia. Yesterday got rejected where you would think, right? This is 107.71. This is 108-ish. If SMCI comes off the lows, okay, maybe, this could go back towards yesterday's high. If you look at the red dog, I don't have a whole hell of a lot going on today, but I did buy Nvidia. I'm still in from remember yesterday. I'm like, we could buy buying it at 92 to 88. I'm long SPYs. I added yesterday. It's up 6. I just trimmed some. I am short 5-10 puts, meaning yesterday I was selling those at $1.50. So that means I'll probably collect all that premium today. I'm also still long some SPY calls. I'm short this FTEL, which I've been for a month because I think everyone, guys that short scam stocks are telling me it's going to $1. There's a registration coming soon. Do not buy FTEL. Not saying short it, but do not buy it. You could wake up, it could be $1. Right now it's like at 18. But anyway, not for everyone, but you see it there. So I might as well explain. And really, I bought a little Lily for earnings. I bought a spread. I bought 840s and I sold 860s. So I'm risking $5 to make 15 if it gets above 860 after pulling from 960 for numbers. But we'll see. Again, option plays. That's what I'm doing there. Anyway, Red Dog actually, what happened here? I'm timed out. Let's move this over. Red Dog's actually back at his high watermark. What does that mean? That means at the high of the year. So I'm at the high of my year, and the S&P pulled back 9%. That means we did a pretty damn good job getting out of the way, making my money short, and with puts and this and that, and staying, tactical. Not everything's tactical though. Long term, I have a long term too. As I said to you guys, don't worry about the Blood on the Street account. If you don't have one, just make sure you put money in your 401k every single month. I'm 51, so I don't care that that account is not going to be on its highs. But anyway, hopefully, are any of you guys on your highs of the year? Let's see. This is where everyone's talking to me, by the way. I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to the crew. The crew is right here. You could see everyone coming in, so get it done. Said nice. Mike, I like CMG. Okay. We'll take a look at CMG. Space was in LUMN. That's pretty cool. Good for you. So this is the crew. I have a lot of different crews. The dog's got a lot of different dog pounds, which is cool. I love friggin' having an awesome community that tries to help each other. CMG, if you look here, actually, we traded this bounce here pretty well. Yes, they've reclaimed this spot. It's trading better, definitely trading better. It's a broken name, has some room to there. I would have liked to have seen you buy it on Monday. I had to it yesterday. Now it's probably up. So day 3, I don't like buying anything really day 3, just because it's a pain in the butt and it's not the easiest thing to deal with. But, we'll see. Remember, I told you guys the other day that Dash started to get stronger because it went up on earnings, but it was the wrong day. Anyway, this dash, look at that. So dash is something that, I feel like traders should start looking at. Look at the size of that move. Wow. And then you had some follow through. So anyway, some new names, some better names come out during corrective phases, and some names that aren't Apple and Microsoft and Amazon. So, Dash is, I think, one of them. So, start charting that one a little bit more. And then lastly, Bitcoin. Bitcoin's back in the overall channel. I didn't trade Bitcoin when things are going nuts. I'd rather trade things that I could handle. No, don't trade all night long. Bitcoin, if you look here, gave one of those washout moves like it loves to do to 49, came right back in. It has some room for this bounce. So this like 58, 59 is probably the same thing as this SPY's, 532, 535. So you got to, map out the areas and act accordingly. And hopefully at this point, you guys were not, overloaded with risk last week. So you came in and capitulated out Monday. Instead, most people that learned my S&P 8 and 21 day rule, meaning you get tactical when you're below. We moved below it for a while. You came in and you were like, wow, I'm ready to go. And you made good money on the past few days. And you didn't get, your lunch stolen from you because, you opened up the TV, it said markets in turmoil, and you're like, I got to get out of everything. And now you're like, why do we bounce? Anyway, be prepared. It's like I said from the barrel this morning, it's August 7th. If you're not going to be prepared with multiple plans on August 7th, you might as well be on the beach, you might as well be on the mountains, and might as well be taking time off. If you're going to be at your seat, you need to know the levels, you need to know where things can go, know where things get harder, know where you could fade, know where it's not worth it, net money, and just keep making progress. There's a lot to do out there, guys, and you better enjoy your life while you're doing it because you're dead a long time and you never know when that's going to happen. So don't sweat the small stuff either. Be well, guys.